12th November 1980, morning session continued.
Then Maharaj says, keep it up. Then he added, you keep it up so long as that concept is present in your consciousness. When your consciousness gives up that concept, you can give up this also. This going visiting those places, he says when your consciousness gives up that concept, you can give up visiting out. Or I think he meant you will automatically give up. Question more. He says in the book, Maharaj says that now at a certain stage he lost all desires. So the point was, so long as the body and mind is there, then the desires are bound to crop up. But Maharaj explains that there has to be an entity to suffer these desires. But when a jnani has lost his entity, his personal entity altogether, what is it that will have the desires? Other than the body may have its normal habits, but those are not desires. The body will have its habits. But where the personal entity is not there, how can desires which are always attached to a personal entity, how can the desires be there? It in his usual deft manner. So he says, I am not entitled to have desires. That which is entitled to have desires, I am not, which is a personal entity.
एवढं ऐकून जेव्हा काळेमध्ये चैतन्य आणि ज्ञान आहे फक्त दोन आहे. पण हे चैतन्य ज्ञान अखिल जगाचे चैतन्य भांडार आहे. सूक्ष्म अवस्थेमध्ये आहे, सूक्ष्मावस्थेमध्ये आहे. याच्यामध्ये जो भडकलेला अग्नी जसा आहे, ज्वाला भडकलेला अग्नी याच्यात आहे की नाही?
अग्नी
भडका करेल की नाही? असं हे ज्ञान काळेमध्ये आहे. आणि ते अखिल जगाचे चैतन्य, जगाचं ज्ञान आहे काळेमध्ये. चैतन्य ज्ञान काळेमध्ये आहे. शिवापूर काळेमध्ये नाही. नंतर शिलीपूर यांनी झुंबा नाही त्या काळेमध्ये. ते कसे
म्हणजे मगाशी माझा असा प्रश्न होता, मी आपली प्रत्येक कृती संकल्पाशिवाय घडते. आपली प्रत्येक कृती
नकळत संकल्प निर्माण होतात.
संकल्पाशिवायच घडते.
कोणतेही संकल्प नकळत निर्माण होतात. नकळत झालं सगळं व्यवहारातला नकळत होतो आहे. आमच्याने सेवा मागणार भीती आहे.
पण आमची कृती कळून करतो का? आम्ही संकल्प करून करतो. आमची कृती कशी होती?
निर्माण होते मग तुम्ही ती केली म्हणता. कृती निर्माण होत्या तुम्ही केली म्हणत, निर्माण झाली ती केली म्हणणार.
पण आता इथून जावं का नाही, परत जावं का नाही, आम्ही खूप विचार करतो ना. आता जावं का नाही, थांबावं का नाही, हा संकल्प होतो आमच्या मनाला.
पण असून येतो का? असून आल्यानंतर गोष्टी ना. फोन झाल्यानंतर फोन नाही आलं तर कोणती पाहिजे नाही.
हे सांगतो महाराजांच्या क्वेश्चन वॉज अगेन. He says, any action, there must be a thought. The thought can arise only in consciousness. Maharaj's point is, there can be a thought only in consciousness. So, his point was, whatever you do, surely for that also, there must be something, some movement in consciousness. So, Maharaj explained that there can be nothing done without a prompting of the consciousness, some movement in consciousness. But he says, all actions based on thoughts which are movement in consciousness are spontaneous. Maharaj's importance is the word spontaneous. He said, my body that has been conceived in my mother's womb was spontaneous. If I had any choice, I wouldn't have gone in my mother's womb. That was also spontaneous. But he said the difference is that any action based on any spontaneous thought which would have taken place in any case. But I take responsibility saying that I am doing it or I have done it. That is the difference. The Jnani never considers that he is doing those actions. Actions take place. Whereas we say we are doing. This is what is the difference. We take responsibility. Maharaj used the word delivery. We take delivery and the responsibility for it. Whereas actions take place by themselves. He has told us what the process.
चैतन्य जाणणारे ध्यान घरचा व्यवसाय काय असेपर्यंत होतो. कायाबद्दल चैतन्याला जाणणारे निवासांना मिळाला म्हणून
Maharaj repeats this. He says the body and within the body, the life force and its consciousness. That is the only thing. These are the only two things within the body. And once the body leaves and the life force leaves, the consciousness will also leave. But this consciousness, which makes us conscious of our presence, is not presence of ABC or XYZ or I or you. That is conscious presence as such. That is pure conscious presence. Because we identify ourselves with an individual, we say, I am present. But Maharaj repeatedly says it's conscious presence, which has manifested itself in an individual. But basically it is universal consciousness, immanent in all manifestations, all phenomena.
प्राण आणि मुक्ती यांच्याशी काही संबंध आहे. सगळा बदल मला सगळ्यांचा संबंध आहे. संबंध नाही तर मला दुसऱ्याला दिसणार नाही.
Maharaj, so prana is independent and independent. Prana and consciousness. This consciousness is immanent in everything, in all manifestation and all forms. All phenomena.
आपल्याला व्यक्तित्व राहिलं नाही. व्यक्तित्व आहे तर कुठं.
And this identification with one form to be given up. This identification from this one entity, that is itself is enlightenment.
तोपर्यंत तुमचा व्यक्ती अनुभव आहे. आपण काय कोणत्या योग्य व्यक्ती आहे तोपर्यंत मुक्ती नाही.
So long as there is a sense of individuality at any level, spiritual or material, he said, until then there is no enlightenment.
व्यक्ती केव्हा कर्म झालेली असणार, कर्मात झालेली असणार व्यक्ती. व्यक्ती कर्माची असणार नाही, पण व्यक्ती नव्हे. व्यक्त आहे तिथे पुष्कळ.
Any individual will be subject to its own action because he is identified with what he thinks he is doing. And once that is given up, then you become total manifest. Vyakti is one vector.
व्यक्ती आपण मध्ये असं झाल्यानंतर चैतन्य आणि गुण, गुण म्हणजे ज्ञान. याचं ज्ञान यथार्थ झाले. गुण आणि ज्ञान आपण गुण आणि ज्ञान दाखवतात. हे झाल्यानंतर त्याच्या स्वरूपाला शब्दाने बोलता ज्ञान मिळेल. स्वरूप ज्ञान, स्वरूप ज्ञानाचे शब्दाने उल्लेख करता येत नाही. ज्ञान शब्दाने उल्लेख करता येतो आहे ते ज्ञान परमात्म्यांनी असलेच पाहिजे. कर्माचरण म्हणजे एकूण कर्म नको. तुम्ही आता 1 वर्षापर्यंत तुम्ही आम्ही 100 वर्ष राहिलो काय केलं कर्म नको काय त्रास केला बस.
Maharaj said, once this person with the body, and therefore as an individual, as soon as that is lost, so this automatically means that having disidentified ourselves with the body, we have totally identified ourselves with this conscious presence. And also the fact that this conscious presence is not ABC or XY, but it is the total universal consciousness. Therefore, then the entire sense of individuality is gone. So such knowledge cannot be given any name. The moment you give any name, it is bound to be limited and restricted, and therefore as a concept. So that kind of knowledge cannot be given any name. Any kind of knowledge that can be given any name is bound to be worldly.
ताकि रेखा जाणवते आहे भासते आहे तोपर्यंत श्री वापरून आपल्याला पण देहाची रेखा पुसली गेली पडली नाही.
So long as one is conscious of the measurements of the body, then we will be conscious of being a male or a female and an individual. Only when these measurements of the body are wiped out, then can one go beyond these identification with the body. Yes. Another point is, he says, once this is understood that you are not an individual, but the body is still there, body will continue to do its own work automatically, spontaneous. So whatever that happens is merely passing our allotted span of life, because we are no longer concerned with it. It will carry on, the body will carry on. So it is merely passing time. Therefore he uses the word permanent, which is entertainment. You merely entertain this conscious presence which must last so long as the body is there. We merely keep this conscious presence, this entertainment. We use the word entertainment. Permanently.
काय म्हणजे चैतन्य ज्ञान आहे शिवाय आणखी ज्ञान तिथे नाही. ते चैतन्य ज्ञान म्हणून पाच हातावर भरलेलं आहे, पण त्याच्यामध्ये व्यक्तिरूप नाही आहे. ते व्यक्त आणि व्यापक आहे.
Maharaj repeats and gives us a final piece of advice for today's session. He says, if you want to remember this visit of yours to me, remember only one thing, and that is, we are not the body. We are that conscious presence which is within the body. And this conscious presence is not I or you are present, but the universal consciousness which is immanent in all the phenomena. And that this phenomena are the limited aspect of that universal consciousness which is total potential. The source, the consciousness and the source is total potential, the totality of the unknown. What is manifested and the totality of the phenomena is the totality of the known in the vastness of the unknown.
चिन्मयानंद तुम्ही जाणता,
स्वामी
चिन्मयानंद तुम्ही जाणता, चिदानंद मध्ये काय तुम्ही जाणता, चिन्मयानंद मध्ये काय तुम्ही जाणता, ओळखते नाही मला.
He said, all of us know Chinmayananda and Chidananda. He said, he is asking us, do we or do we not know him? Earlier he had explained, Chin means a little, a speck of happiness.
चिन्मयानंद प्रेमाने बोल आणि कशा निर्माण झाला जाणता.
So how did this spot of happiness of which you can use whatever word is clear right? He said, how did this arise?
ते
Spot of
माझं सांगणं नाही, स्वतःला विसरलं म्हणजे असं म्हणतात.
निर्माण झालं.
स्वतःला विसरलं म्हणाला, स्वतः म्हणजे काय निर्माण झालं?
मीपणा.
जगामध्ये वाचलेलं अक्षर आहे, पण ती भाषा ऐकलेली आहे. त्याच्यावर तुमचं ज्ञान आहे, पण तुम्ही ज्ञान का आणि कशाचं हे बघत आमच्या आई बापाची एकमेकाला मुलाखत चिदानंद मिळे.
प्रत्येकाच्या आई बापाची सुख त्यांचं म्युच्युअल तेच नाही का आहे.
आता जर हा चिदानंद नव्हे कसो
Maharaj is asking him, he says, everybody talks of Chidananda, the words which people have heard. He said, does anyone give any thought to what that is?
सगळ्या लोकांच्या मुलाखतच्या तुम्हाला हा चिदानंद मिळेल. दुसरा काही नाही. दुसरा कोणी नाही.
Says, do those words not basically imply the pleasure of the unity of your parents?
तो चिदानंद का वाटत नाही, तो टिकणारा नाही, तो टिकणारा नाही, क्षणभर टिकणारा आहे तो आनंद. काय
तुम्हाला वर्ष किती झाली? वय किती?
मी 64.
कशाची वय? कशाचं कोणाचं वय आहे? चिदानंदाचं नव्हे? या चिदानंदाचं वय नव्हे?
ते नाही सांगतात कसं काय
सांगायचं. पण तुम्ही हा जे कबूल आहे ना, तुम्ही आणि झालेला आहे ना, त्याला एवढी वर्ष झाली ना, ते कशाला झाली ती?
त्या चिदानंद
त्या चिदानंदाला ना, तोच चिदानंद तुम्ही हा हिशोब करा. तीन वेळे म्हणजे जगा जाओ बाजूला झाली. जगाचा आनंद घेतला होय
होय ना म्हणतात.
थोडासा आनंद झाला की तुम्हाला झालं असं समजलं. तुम्हाला झालं म्हणजे झालं असं समजलं.
Twelfth of November 1980 evening.
फक्त आपलं याच्यात पाणी भेट आहे.
In the morning I was talking about that condition of mind which is manifest and all consciousness, universal consciousness. About that I was talking. Although the body image and the body form is there, the self has no form, the beingness has no form. Whatever questions you want to ask and get clarification, better do it.
Several times questioned about the body dies, the consciousness resolves in the universal consciousness. Well, it is perhaps a stupid question, but is it this suicide that not the quickest step to this all?
ते म्हणतात देह पडतो, मग जाणीव सगळ्या जाणीवेत मिळून जाते, हे सगळं आहे. मग आम्ही आत्महत्या केली तर काय झटक्यात होऊन जाईल. देह पडल्यावर असं होणारच असेल
ते तुम्ही आत्महत्या केल्या तरी ते ऍक्सिडेंट झालं, ते सगळं सगळं पण झालं.
What is important is at the moment of death, the pleasure which or the highest bliss, highest type of bliss which a jnani can have is not had by an ordinary person committing suicide. For a person committing suicide, it's a most confused, traumatic condition. Presently, because of my physical condition, whatever unbearable manifestations are there, those are seen. If the body was healthy, I would have been in the highest bliss right now.
तो कहता है विकार बोला है
That unbearable condition is that vikara, is an expression of this mind flow.
The state of dream and what we call the waking state is the same process at a different level. And finally, in both are not at all reality.
Not at all?
Reality. There is no more reality in one state than the other. But I think in what we call the waking state, in the dream state, we constantly move with the images. And I think in what we call waking state, one can be, as something steady, it can be the witness of I am. Is it not? Or is it also a concept? I think no. I have doubt. I would like to ask Maharaj.
हे स्वप्न अवस्था आणि ही जागृती अवस्था हे दोन्हीमुळे आपल्या जाणीवेमुळे दोन्ही हे होतात. ठीक आहे, पण तरी पण ते जरा निराळ्या दर्जात आहे, हे थोडं निराळ्या दर्जात आहे. तर तिकडे सगळे ही सगळे चित्रासारखी माणसं हालत असतात स्वप्नामध्ये, पण इकडे जरा आम्हाला एक संधी मिळते की मला माझी साक्षात्व घेण्याची संधी मिळते. म्हणजे स्वप्नामध्ये तसं जमत नाही.
गणपताला जन्म अग्निर्वादाला जन्म
It's only that is only for a very short while you experience dream world, and this goes on for a very long period. Hence the advent.
अनुभव केव्हा शकतो तो अनुभव केव्हा तरी येतो.
Where the experience is varied. With each dream it's a different experience. With each dream it's a different landscape, different circumstances. But here it's almost a continuous. But that motive principle, that presiding principle because of which the dream world and waking state are, that is the same common principle. You are-ness, I am-ness.
आणि तुम्हाला अगदी ऐकायची गरज नाही आता सांभाळची गरज.
As a matter of fact, by now you have understand the entire this philosophy what Maharaj has been expounding, and actually there is no necessity for you to listen to more talk.
म्हणजे ईश्वर माया आणि ब्रह्म याच्या एकीकरण कसं आहे तुम्हाला आता कळलेलं आहे. एकीकरण आहे.
By now you must have understood. You are ness, there is I am ness, the manifest Brahman and Ishvara, all are one only.
कळलं हो म्हणजे लाभ झाल्याने पुन्हा खर्च खाते बघा.
You try to ponder over it and realize that. This is a rare opportunity where such in great detail this has been explained. So you take full advantage of that.
त्याच्यावर तुम्ही मार्गाचा
Oh. This is with all this. If you still try to identify yourself with the body and take advantage of the body for your normal activities, then it is your affair. But it is very unfortunate. With all this talk, if you still want to take advantage through your identity with the body, it is absolutely wrong. Your consciousness, in your beingness, in the manifest beingness. He said, you must be very cautious. So, with so many days talk, I have told you what is your state. You are the manifest Brahman only. But because of force of habit, you might again descend into your body and try to identify with the body. Now I believe that you are no more intimate with your bodily identity. And I assume that you are identifying with the manifest Brahman that you are. You must give up the bodily identity. A stage has come to how to give up the bodily affairs. The bodily activities will go on until the body drops off. But you should not identify with the bodily activities. पुन्हा पाहिजे त्याला पुन्हा सांगितलं मराठीत समजून आमच्या इथे very simple how to disidentify with the body. He says you can watch the body, therefore you are not the body. Not only that, you are in a position to watch the vital breath, therefore you are not the vital breath also. In the same fashion, you have to go still up in the final lesson that you are not this consciousness also. But presently you have to become one with the consciousness. We are the consciousness and not the body. See, this bodily identity, that means the body is put under any garb, any disguise. But that indwelling principle, that is the self, the Atman, cannot be covered by your body or the dress of the body.
अंतर्यामी गुणाला देवरूपी नाही प्रत्येकाला काही रंगलेला असले नंदीला देवरूप नाही.
It's very simple, it is. That indwelling principle, that the self or the Atman, has no form of the body. It is not the body.
करावं लागेल. कोणी म्हणून मी भान आहे जातीचा तुला मायबाप पण तो आपल्याला भान नाही जमले नाही हे समज पाहिजे तो समज तो आमची ओळखीनेच आहे आणि त्याला मी तरी नाव आहे तुला मायबाप हेच आपलं
You know, this Vithala God, he took the form of a low caste person. It's an old story, it's a legend. And just to help his devotee, that Vithala takes that form of a low caste person. And he goes to the court of a Nawab, a Muslim king. And then he offers his salutations to the king, saying that I am a low caste one. You accept my salutations. But all along while he was saying this, I am a low caste, he was not the low caste person. The very principle which was indwelling in that body, low caste body, was that Vithala principle, that consciousness principle. Acting. Acting theater.
इसको ऐसे नहीं एक्टिंग के बारे में हमको तुमको क्या ऐसे
No.
तो आप लग रहा है
He said this is just like acting. That Vithala principal was acting as a low caste person.
तो सुधा आज आश्रमी का है
In principle is now acting through various bodies. Consciousness alone is acting through various bodies. Now he says, what is that acting principle today? It is sustained by the body. Today our consciousness is a product of the food essence body. यहाँ से विकृति है मैडम
ये हाल मोमेंट तो कौन होता है कुछ अपना पीछे लगे
as one stabilizes in this consciousness or that Atman, naturally or spontaneously this renunciation of the body and whatever the affectations of the body happens, renunciation of the body, dislike or dispassion for the body and the expression through the body, one feels when one stabilizes in the consciousness. Natural renunciation, not deliberate. हाँ
एक दिवस को जब हम लोग अपना बदलता वाला
Now I have utter dispassion for the body and bodily experience. It doesn't mean I have dispassion for the self.
ये विशेष भाषा में करो इसका पूर्ण
The self is prior to the body and the bodily experience. Getting knowledge, even theoretical knowledge, is all right to understand. But to abide in that identity, which is bereft of the body, mind, sense, that is important. That is knowledge. To abide in that knowledge which is bereft of the body, mind, sense. Deep sleep, waking state, and this knowingness are the product of body, of the objective world, of the phenomenal world. It doesn't mean that you should be indifferent to your normal daily routine or your duties, normal duties. Carry out your duties with full zest, with full energy.
मानने करके
जगह से पत्नी के मानने का तरीका 25 मिनट
फायदा ना देता है
all of you people rush to this place even before time. And if you don't ask question, what's the use? The little baby, very young, is conscious, is not aware of itself, of the body. There is no personality. What he said yesterday. Yes. Then the adult, the awareness is there, but identified with the body, with the form. So, shouldn't we, in a way,
we discover the freedom of the little born baby to its form. In a way, we should go back to liberate ourselves like little body to the shape and to the body. No? Or is it not correct? It's a different state. From the ISS to become pure consciousness without attachment to the form. There is no relation with the state of the little baby free from the body image.
Baby is free from the body image, yes. Initially.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
the other has not... there is no relation.
Earlier this question was asked, I don't know, you see whether you can get your reply out of it. We had said, suppose the child, which is not having body consciousness.
लाल मुलार के ऊपर बोलने का है बोला अभी लाल मुलार वाला उत्पत्ति मंदिर का बोलो लाल मुलार के उत्पत्ति मंदिर का देखो इनका तो सब अच्छा ये बोल रहा है मतलब बोल के घुमा मार
Right. What I have been saying is, understand the source of the child. If you misunderstand me, I will throw you out. हाँ
तुमने कहा मैं मानने लगते कराना आपके सामने लोगों जाना हो रहा है मुझे ज्ञान जाना है तुझे समझ मुझे आपके साथ नहीं आपको कौन लाल में माल तू और क्या दूसरे में जानना है मुझे बात करो और पर
he said, one who has understood that Balakrishna is child consciousness, that baby consciousness, one who has understood what is what, he has transcended the concept.
तेच म्हणजे हे बालकृष्ण ज्ञान जे आहे तिथं आपण जायला सांगता
जायला लग्न सांगत ना हे मानवाला आहे कोणाचं जायला काय सांगायचं बालकोणी किंवा भांडवल कोण आहे तुला कोणाला पण तिथे जायला काय
It is a child consciousness itself is your whole capital. Primary capital is only that. The child consciousness alone has grown into this. In your present state here, the child consciousness will understand the child consciousness. What was the provocation that you are pushed here? I assume that you got the self-enlightenment. If so, can you give me some information, something about the self? What extent he knows himself? You know yourself. Here there is no question either spiritually low or high here. Atma Jnana means the self-knowledge, the knowledge about the self. He is talking more exclusively. What he said, I have held the feet of Sadguru. I have held the feet of Sadguru. Beyond that I don't know. So Maharaj said exactly that you have to do, but you must know what are the feet of the Sadguru. That you must know.
चरण म्हणजे पाय म्हणजे हालतात. आता ते हालतात गेला कळली बरं झालं. संपूर्ण शोधत होता.
Charana has two meanings. Charana means the feet in Sanskrit, and Charana means the movement begins. With the feet, the movement begins. That's why the feet are called feet or Charana, because the movement begins with the feet. But it's not this movement you have to understand, but you have to understand the inner movement. How the movement begins, understand that. Go to the source, the beginning of the movement.
म्हणजे हालतात. तिळगुळ ठेवा.
He said, what is Sadguru Charan? Maharaj asking. Sadguru Charan is nothing else but this movement from no knowingness, the movement begins of knowingness. When this knowingness occurs, this knowingness itself is the movement. That is the movement, Sadguru movement or Sadguru Charana. Go to the source where the I amness is felt, I amness begins.
एकदम फायनली काय कळलं लोकांनी हालतात. ते तिळगुळ ठेवा.
Go to that very first moment or the very first moment of stirring of consciousness. That is the Sadguru Charan.
गुरुचरण ज्यांनी धरल्याचे वाया कधी जाणार.
The one who has held the feet or who has arrested that movement, his effort will not go waste.
श्री गुरुचरण ज्याला लाभले तो फुलं नाही लागले.
He says the one who acquired the Sri Guru Charana, he got everything. Again, the Sri Guru Charana means the first moment of knowingness. When you hold the feet or when you arrest the movement, you are at that borderline, knowingness and no knowingness.
And knowingness are different. Same.
Beingness, knowingness, consciousness. Yeah.
In the absolute state, it will be the same. Or not until then.
In the absolute state?
Until you reach the absolute, aren't they different? No.
No, we use it by different names. Huh?
सामान्य ऐसे नहीं साबित कर ध्यान देने को साला लगे आ जाए.
Give some couplet from Tukaram. When the time is right, you cannot avoid it at all. You have to go. Huh? You have to come.
At this moment where I am not beginning. Before there was no moment. Moment begins just with this I amness, division, and time begins just at this moment.
With timeless begins the time limit.
Yes, and there arises the feeling of the difference.
Difference.
The feeling of time and difference.
Difference.
No.
Feeling of
Before
time and
there was no difference and no time.
मी जाणीवेपासूनच कालही सुरुवात झाली आणि फरक वगैरे समजायला लागला. त्याच्या अगोदर काहीच नव्हतं. कालही नव्हता आणि फरक सुद्धा काही जाणवत नव्हतं. येस.
This feeling of difference and time just now. Why that?
He
How?
will say
How and
spontaneous.
why?
He will say spontaneous.
Yes.
There is no question of why.
त्यामुळे त्याचं काय होतं की हा लवकर
13th November 1980 morning.
राहिलेला होता.
There has to be a state of knowingness before one enters beingness, and the state of beingness comes spontaneously without one's knowing. Does the knowledge of the state of beingness have to precede the state of beingness? Or can it come spontaneously like the cells of the field?
जाणीवेबद्दल प्रश्न विचारला. जाणीव म्हणजे काय समज आधी मी आहे ही आधी येतो का जाणीव म्हणते असं काहीतरी म्हणतो नाही. जाणीव म्हणजे काय बरोबर समजलं नाही ते सांगितलं. जाणीव चैतन्य सदा समजला भरलेला हे कधी आधी कोणा होत नाही. मग अमुक एक पदार्था मध्ये प्रक्रिया निर्माण होते तेव्हा ती जाणीव तुझ्या प्रकट होतो. तर जाणीव तुला भरलेली समजा ती होत नाही. महाराज says this consciousness, beingness, I-amness, they are all the same thing. Beingness and consciousness are not two different things. So Maharaj says consciousness is immanent all the time. Only when a form is created and the life force is infused in the form, consciousness or beingness or I-amness automatically springs within spontaneously. And then, only when there is a phenomenon, then this consciousness manifests itself. If there is no form in this particular form, there are forms. If there were no forms in which the consciousness is to manifest itself, consciousness will be immanent throughout. It's already there. Nothing without this consciousness. But in a form, when a form gets created, until it is destroyed, for whatever reason, the life force, the prana and consciousness.
13th November 1980 morning session continued.
In a form, when a form gets created, until it is destroyed, for whatever reason, the life force, the prana and consciousness are there at the same time. Automatically, spontaneously, naturally. म्हणजे चैतन्य शक्ती ज्ञान आहे. चैतन्य शक्ती केवळ अरे मात्र जेव्हा अमुक प्रक्रिया होते तेव्हा प्रकाश होते. आता हे काय आहे आज म्हणजे याचं कायमचं आहे की नाही आता निर्माण झाला तेव्हा त्याला दिला लागला तेव्हा त्याने आवाज दिला. महाराज त्याच्यामध्ये मी कायम आहे त्याच्यामुळे प्रक्रिया केलं. So Maharaj gives two examples. He dropped an object, there was sound. So he said, where was the sound? The sound was latent in what was dropped. Only when one object came in touch with another object or the other, then the sound became apparent. Sound which was latent became apparent when there was an obstruction. Now he said this tower, in that the fire is latent in it. Only when there is some action, then the reaction of the fire will manifest itself. If there is a flame attached to it, then the fire will manifest itself. Fire which was latent in the time. So consciousness is there all the time. The light of knowledge, the light is there in anything. The light will manifest itself only when there is an obstruction in the form of the object. So similarly, only when there is an object, a phenomenon, a form is created, then the life force and the consciousness will manifest itself in that object. So if there are no forms, consciousness will still be there. म्हणून झालेले म्हणून तुम्हाला सुख दुःखात भय आणि भीती वाटते. आता ह्याला भय कुठे आहे? Consciousness, is it any different from this sound? This sound takes place. Consciousness also takes place, happens, but only because there is identification with the body. Therefore, whatever happens in consciousness, if it is something which this identification likes, it calls happiness. If this something happens which it doesn't like, then we call it unhappiness. And one suffers. This pseudo entity, because of this entification, because of this identification, it suffers or considers that it is happy. Basically what happens is, this happening of the consciousness, that is, the happening of the manifestation of the consciousness, like the sound, merely takes place. It's a process.
ज्ञानाने मला व्यक्ती म्हणून जे जाणवलेलं आहे ज्ञानानं आणि त्या व्यक्ती म्हणजे जाणवलेलं आहे ते जाणवणे हे तुमच्या सुखात दुःखाला कारण आहे.
It is this ignorance which is the cause of the identification, and it is this identification which is the cause of happiness or unhappiness.
त्या ज्ञानाचा व अज्ञानाचा ह्याच्यावर परिणाम काय होत आता ध्वनी आहे त्याचा काय परिणाम असं कारण अमुक होऊन झाले अमुक मिळते चैतन्यावर काय परिणाम त्याचा लोक झाला किंवा दुःख देते त्याच्यावर काय परिणाम आहे.
If there is a sound, or if there is a happening, if something happens, if the form is destroyed, this is in what way is consciousness affected? By something which has just happened in the ordinary. So the sound has happened. So who suffers because of the sound? Nobody suffers because of the sound. Action and the corresponding reaction. Does consciousness suffer in any way? What is the effect on consciousness? There is merely a movement in consciousness. Consciousness doesn't suffer one thing or another.
बाहेर पंचभूतामध्ये दिसत आहे तुमच्या व्यवहारामध्ये फार ज्ञानेंद्रिय सत्तर बंद याचा नफा होता नाही पंचभूताचा नफा होता नाही तसं ज्ञानेंद्रियाच्या गुणांना नफा होता नाही नफा होता तुमच्या व्यक्तीच होणार.
He said the 5 elements, they work in their normal course. Are they concerned with the consequences? Are they concerned with loss or profit? So similarly, these 5 senses of ours, they function. They function if consciousness is there. But when they function in the same natural way, are the senses concerned with any profit or loss? It's only because of the actions that take place with which we identify ourselves. Therefore, this question of happiness or unhappiness, profit or loss arises.
आमचं म्हणणं काय असतं तिथं आपल्याबद्दल काय आहात ते बघा काय पाहिजे बघू नका. आता पंचभूते बाहेर दिसत आहेत आणि त्याच्यात तुम्ही 5 ज्ञानेंद्रिय आहेत आकृतीतून निर्माण होतात आकृती पदार्थातून निर्माण होतो पदार्थातून गुण निर्माण होतो गुणामध्ये 5 ज्ञानेंद्रिय निर्माण होतात याचा काय विचार करा चालला कुठं काय हवं तुम्ही आहात काय.
Maharaj again goes back to the fundament. He says, forget about what you think you need or want. Who is this that has needs or wants? So he says, understand the process, understand the function. He said the 5 elements, they work. Out of the 5 elements, the form gets created, and the material which is the form, the essence of that is this knowingness or being, this suchness of this consciousness. He said there is a process. Merely understand the function. There is no one who causes anything, any of this. It is all spontaneous. So in this process, what is it that you consider yourself as who has needs or wants?
आजकाल खोट्यावरी लढाया झाल्या आमचा झाला तुमचा झाला पंचभूतावर काय परिणाम झाला पंचभूताच्या हल्लेनाथ झाला का पंचभूतामध्ये असलेले 5 ज्ञानेंद्रिय गुण म्हणून जो होता तो बाबर वेगळं नाही म्हणून आलं पंचभूतांना ज्ञानेंद्रिय गुण आहे.
Understand this again, Maharaj says, there have been any number of natural calamities. There have been any numbers of wars. He said, are the 5 elements concerned in any way with the destruction that has taken place both ways? He said, they are not. Similarly, he said, out of the 5 elements are these 5 senses of ours which work, and these 5 senses are in the form which is created out of the 5 elements. And the way the 5 senses work, are the senses concerned with the profit or loss? neither are the senses nor the five elements. It is a natural, spontaneous process which goes on, which you can call the functioning of the absolute.
आता तुम्ही आम्ही ज्ञान म्हणून आहोत ते अजान ज्ञान आहे. ज्ञान नाहीये. पंचमुखामध्ये विकृती घडल्या त्याच्यातला गुण आहे. हा तुम्ही आम्ही आले.
He says, how has this knowledge that we call knowledge? He says, what is this knowledge? This knowledge is only the essence of the material elements. And this knowledge that we call knowledge has come about from something which has come spontaneously, and this is this consciousness. Consciousness is ignorance. So whatever knowledge we think we have, the source of it is ignorance. That is consciousness. Therefore he said the real knowledge is only that which existed before the arising of this consciousness. And for that even knowledge is hardly an adequate word.
तुम्हाला फक्त काय पाहिजे की आपण मध्ये वाटतो या परिस्थितीमध्ये. परंतु चिन्ह म्हणजे काय आहे बघा. हे आता तुम्ही जे ज्ञान आहे ते पंचभूतामध्ये विकृती निर्माण झाल्याचा गुण आहे. तुम्हाला रूप नाही ते रूप नव्हे.
Maharaj again repeats the same thing. He says, why do you identify yourself with something? He said, understand what you appear to be and you are not. Differentiate it from that which you are. And that which you are in the phenomenal world, only from the point of view of the phenomenal world, you are this consciousness. And the consciousness is the suchness or the savor or the nature of something which has arisen out of the conflict of the five elements. Therefore, understand what you think you are, what you appear to be, and which you are not. Distinguish it from that which you are.
आता काळातील लोकांचे फुल झाले. हा ज्ञानेंद्रियाचे लोक झाला. शिवाय त्याच्यावर काय बनणार आहे.
He said there were two murders which created a sensation in Mumbai. So he said, what has really happened? Two forms which were created have been destroyed. There are innumerable ways in which forms will get destroyed. Now this destruction of those two forms, what effect has it had on either the consciousness or the five elements?
आपलं धनाचं कुठे माणसं म्हणजे लढाई जमक्या जमक्या पण त्यांची ज्ञानेंद्रिय कर्मेंद्रिय तुमच्याकडे भांडायला आली.
So the millions of forms have been destroyed in wars and in natural calamity. Now have the five senses of those millions of dies, have they come fighting or disputing what has happened with anyone else? Has there been any dispute brought about by the five senses which have been destroyed? All that has happened is that the five senses have been destroyed. Have they come quarreling with anything?
पंचभूतामध्ये आता विकृती निर्माण होते. त्याच्यात ओंकार निर्माण होत होतो कुठून त्याच्यात नाना वर्ष निरोध निर्माण करतात. नाना जीव निर्माण होतात. ज्याला जे जे आकार होते त्याच्या जाते आकाराप्रमाणे त्याला बुद्धी अंकर कसं काय असतं. पण पण ते ज्ञानेंद्रिय हे पण गेले. ज्ञानेंद्रिय गेले कुठलंही नसून घेतो तिथे नुकसान नफा कोणाचा आहे.
Maharaj again says, repeat. This is probably the fourth time this morning he has repeated the same thing. He says, understand the process. The process of the five elements, the working of the conflict of the five elements, result in millions of forms being created. Millions of forms are created, different forms, according to the nature of that material which has created the form. It may be an insect, it may be a worm, it may be a human being. All of those forms are created. In those forms the sentience appears, that is this life force and the consciousness. And in course of time the consciousness disappears, each form gets destroyed. And the process is there continuously. Since who is there to have any profit or loss or suffer or suffer experience or unhappiness or happiness, whatever? Is there anything which need say that it is suffering or enjoy? It is just a continuous process. Understand the process.
मुख्य पदार्थ निर्माण जाने के काया पदार्थ को निर्माण जाने के करने मिले अच्छा काया पदार्थ मध्ये निघण्याचा फरक होतो की ज्ञानेंद्रियामध्ये फरक होतो मला ऐकायला येत नाही मला दिसत नाही मला बोलायला येत नाही हा फरक कशामध्ये झाला आहे काय हा ज्ञानेंद्रियामध्ये फरक कशामध्ये झाला आहे
पदार्थ निघते बोला. He says ultimately there is a change gradually in the five senses of knowledge and the five senses of action. So he said this ultimately he said a person will say he can't hear, he can't see. He said all that is because in the degeneration of the material which has caused the birth, of which the form is made. So it's a degeneration in the material of which the form is made. That is all that has happened.
पसंद बनता है क्या होता है सुनाते झालो आहे ऐकायला झालो आहे कोणचं ज्ञान कळत नाही झालो आहे शब्द डोळे गेलं म्हणजे दिसत नाही चेतन जोर झाला चेतन आपलं जोर झालं ते जोर झाल्यामुळे शब्द बंद आता बाकी राहिलं काय जाणे पण ही सगळ्या खऱ्या तसं क्रियाचं होत्यापर्यंत तोपर्यंत आज gradually all the five senses of knowledge and five senses will gradually the working will be the sensitiveness will diminish and ultimately the sight will go, the hearing will go, the sense of touch will go and in the borderline we will say that the life is there and that life will remain. So, and the consciousness will remain only until the last point, the degeneration, which is the last point. Then we say that the body is dead, the consciousness will go. So he said, who is really dead or alive? He said, ज्ञानेंद्रियान कर्मेंद्रियाला बदलता आली त्याच्यामुळे हे खिळगुंज तत्वाचा कम याच्यामध्ये मध्ये काढून याचा गावामध्ये तत्वाचा गुण आपण ज्ञान जन्म मिळतो.
He said, I have the five senses of knowledge and five senses of action. How do they get degenerated? Because the essence of the material of which the body is made, that essence gets degenerated. There is degeneration in that essence of which the body is made. And that degeneration passes itself on to the senses of knowledge and the senses of action.
तुम्ही ह्याच्यातून कोणत्या रूपाने आपल्याला जाऊन कुठे चालला
Therefore, having identified again he said, therefore, why identify yourself with something which is ultimately and all the time continuously getting degenerated? Is that really you? Think. So he said, what has been said so far? Ask question.
Consciousness. Suppose we are talking about the consciousness of the body and not the
what do you mean by consciousness of the self and consciousness of the body? You see, you haven't. You listen. You don't even know what is now he says, I am explaining what is consciousness, the relationship between the consciousness and the body is identical to the sweetness and the sugar. Sweetness is the nature, the suchness of sugar. Similarly, this consciousness is the suchness or the nature of the essence of the body. The body is the food of consciousness. Consciousness is only one, looking away. He said consciousness is immanent throughout the manifestation. So I said, that is this man. Otherwise, the still in the I'll come out of the garden. And that's all correct. Don't die in पंचवृत्ती विराहाचा असून त्याच्यामध्ये पंच ज्ञानेले या पदार्थाचा गुण आहे सांगितलं सत्वाचा. या सत्वाचा गुण आहे. त्या सत्व ओळखतात नाही. एकाला मूळ झालं त्याच्या त्या सत्वाचा गुण लागतो. त्याला मूळ झालं आहे. ते मूळ म्हणजे त्याच्या देहाचा सत्व नाही. काय म्हणतो? What is the body made of? Now understand first, he says this consciousness is the nature or suchness of that which is created. That is clear, like the sweetness of sugar. Now he says, what is this body made? In other words, consciousness depends on the body. What is the body made of? He said the body of a child is born. Is that child not the essence of the parents? And the essence of the parents, is it not the essence of the food which the parents are eating? So therefore, ultimately, is it not the essence of the material? So consciousness, does consciousness not depend essentially and wholly on material? Now, गुलामाने जब अवगुण निर्माण झाले, काही करायचं नाही, कोण दिसत नाही की आमचं काम करतो. आम्हाला बिघाड कशाचा? ज्याच्यापासून तो झाला, त्याच्या सत्वाने बिघाड येतो. दुसरा बहुत चांगला आहे. आणि हेच पाहतो, त्यांना फक्त बोलतो. So now the question is, why is one baby fully well, another baby has defects? He said, what have they done? He said, that depends on the nature of the material of which the two different bodies were made. आज आपल्याला पाप पुण्याचा परिणाम आहे म्हणून. पाप पुण्याचा परिणाम गोष्ट खरी अशी आहे, त्याच्या कायमध्ये विकार असल्यामुळे सत्व शुद्ध नसल्यामुळे तो पूर्ण बिघडला आहे. काळजी करून गेलो सुद्धा तो सत्वामध्ये जाऊन नाही ना. का देवा काय लागतं? So one baby gets born and dies. Another baby is very, very healthy. Third baby is not too healthy. So he said, what is that the difference comes? The difference comes in the material of which three different babies were made. The people here say they call it the result of the previous Papa and Punya. But he said, this is what is really the thing. And the material is continuous. कहाँ जा रहा है? कौन उसको? He said, where do you think you are going? Where do you think you want to go? So long as you identify with your body, which is purely the material of the finality. That is not you, surely. मनाचा प्रपंच परमार्थ अज्ञान काळातील कर्मरूप आहे. अज्ञान काळ कोणता? खूप जाग आणि झोप हा. So this knowledge is out of the ignorance. So what is this ignorance? This ignorance is this spontaneous arising of the concept of time and consciousness. Concept of time means the waking state and the sleeping state. Together with it is this consciousness. So this itself is ignorance. This ignorance arises in the form of these three states, consciousness and all these three, from a state which is the perfect state, which is, we call it knowledge, but it is really neither ignorance nor knowledge. Ignorance and knowledge are the two counterparts of the same concept. So this original state is before any concept at all, which is the perfect state. On that has come this imperfect state. The full happiness life. Doctor knows this is why the three different babies are of three different types, but he doesn't go to the root of the matter. क्या बालकाच्या बिघाडाला कारण आई बापांना संपूर्ण म्हणे? He said that is not the difference in three babies due to the difference in the sperm which created the three different babies. आणि सत्वाचा गुण जर ज्ञान झाली आहे तर सत्वा आवारी झाली म्हणून धरलाच कुठे कुठे राहिला झाली. This consciousness is भूताच्या वर्षाचं साखर कुठे आहे? त्याच्या वर्षाचं दूध कुठे आहे? Can there be any sugar, sweetness without the sugar? So the material is there and the nature of the material will be flavorful. And all these are time bound. And you are prior to, separate from both the body and the consciousness. Consciousness exists only from the body. That is what. That's opposite of consciousness. You're talking about the consciousness of the body and space. There is only one consciousness. That is, if I am not conscious, either because I am in deep sleep or because I am under an anesthesia, I have no consciousness. For some reason, consciousness has been held in a base, suspended. Will I know anything? Will there be a world for me? Will my senses work? They will not.
You are referring to the awake state as consciousness.
The conscious state is that sense of being alive, sense of existing, that sense of presence. That is why it is called awareness. That is the sound, the people. Sound.
पंचभूताचा गुण जगामध्ये भरलेला आहे इथे आकृती निर्माण होते
the consciousness is the main. So only when there is a phenomenal object, when this consciousness manifests itself in that form. If that form disappears, it is destroyed, consciousness becomes manifest, total, unmanifest. Consciousness becomes unmanifest. If there is no body, consciousness is not conscious of it. But it is latent.
तो जाणून परमात्म्याला फळ ठेवून त्याचा भला होणार नाही त्याला दर्शवून काय
He said people come here even wanting some spiritual benefit. So he said one who comes here wanting some spiritual benefit, what is that? Or who is that who wants such a spiritual benefit? Give me some idea of that. Who wants even spiritual, forget material benefit. Is there anything? Really? Can you produce anything? This is me who wants spiritual benefit.
आज बोलतो चालतो आता हा निघाला उद्या बोलत झालं हा नसेल तर
Maharaj says, what is talking? What is talking is the sustenance which is having. If that sustenance is stopped, will there be any talking? If the sustenance is stopped, consciousness will also stop functioning. So, consciousness again, it is consciousness depends on sustenance, that sustenance which keeps the body going. So, consciousness again depends entirely on the material.
त्याचं ज्ञान आहे त्याच्याकडे भरपूर बघतो आणि पुस्तक उघडून तिकडे चालणार कोणत्या करा जाईल
It is really comical that people forget that because of which they can acquire some kind of different kinds of material knowledge. They go after material knowledge, but forget that without which such knowledge will be impossible to achieve. That is this consciousness, which is everything, which is priceless only.
काय बोललं का
If you study that, the sweetness will vary in each sample of sugar because the source will differ. We heard this
आपण सांगितलं एक बाला थोडी सुद्धा ती साखर जर वेगळ्या टाईपची असली तर थोडी सुद्धा तशीच आहे
कोणाला चाललेलं मुद्रा म्हणजे बिघाड झालेला नाही त्या साखरेमध्ये बोलले खानाला म्हणजे थोडी म्हणजे आता म्हणजे
डॉक्टर तेच म्हणतो He said not only will there not be proper sweetening, but it will cause illness, as in the case of the deformed baby.
ऐका म्हणून माझी माहिती तुमची माहिती म्हणून सांगतो म्हणजे मला कुठून माहिती
Maharaj said,
मला माहिती नाही
Maharaj said, all I talk about is something which I know personally, and I also know that what applies to me applies to you. And he said, what do I know? He said, I know nothing. I didn't even know that I was going to be born. All I know is that it is here. This body and consciousness is here. That for me to know that this body and consciousness has come upon me, I must have been there prior to the coming of this body and consciousness. So I must have existed prior to this. So my original existence is prior to this concept. And that is my original. That also I know.
All this is created by the mind.
So Maharaj says, all these scientific discoveries and marvels,
तो कोहिनूर
they have
करता
no
है
fascination for him. All he says is all these scientific marvels have come from concepts. And concepts all concepts cannot come from anywhere else except from that spot of consciousness which is me. Therefore, all these things have no from this desire, he has taken the start of की हे कल्पना वगैरे जमा झालेले आहे त्या सगळ्या सोडून द्याव्या असं वाटलं
नका तुम्ही आज ज्ञान फक्त होगा बाकी काय करू नका कमी आगे ज्ञान होगा कळत त्याच्यावर जाऊ दे
Maharaj again goes further. Even this is a desire. It's a negative desire. You want it, the desire is to let go. So even that is a desire. That desire can only come from your consciousness. So being one with that consciousness, as long as you can, the consciousness in any case there. But often you are conscious of this consciousness. Do only that. No other effort is necessary or no other effort can help you. Any kind of effort will be a burden.
Being aware of the consciousness is not an effort.
No. तुम्ही जाणीव आहे हे लक्षात ठेवणं म्हणजे सुद्धा प्रयत्न
लक्षात कशाला जाणीव लक्षात देणार तुम्ही काय लक्षात ठेवणार तुम्ही जाणीव लक्षात कशाला ठेवणार जाणीवशिवाय लक्ष म्हणून काय आहे तुमच्याकडे
It's only consciousness. No individuality. It is consciousness which makes the mistake of limiting what is original unlimited potential. It limits itself by identifying itself with the body. It is conscious.
महाराज काय म्हणाले हा शब्द भोगा तुम्ही आहात हे भक्त भोगा
ज्ञान भोगा तुम्ही त्याचे पर्याय काय निर्माण करून नका केवळ असं आहे त्याच्यामध्ये काय बदल करणार असं आहेच ते आहे
So what is already there. You can't make any change to it. Only enjoy that.
मूर्ती तुम्ही बोलता ठेवता ते भूक करून टाकू केवळ पंचविचार पंचविषयाचा गुण आहे त्याच्याने आत्मप्रेम आहे एवढं नव्हे त्या गुणामध्ये आत्मप्रेम आहे एवढं नव्हे
There is an understanding that this consciousness which is very deep, spontaneous, that is all there is. And that consciousness, having appeared, likes itself so much that it wants itself to continue. So that is why all the love that one has is for this consciousness. So that the consciousness, one wants that consciousness to continue all the time. Because that's the most priceless thing. So this love is the consciousness. Consciousness is love.
मला नव्हत नसलं तुमच्याकडे परंपरा ज्ञान आहे तेव्हा घ्या त्याला काय होता नाही
Maharaj says, he admits that the knowledge that he is not quite easy to accept. He says, if you find it unacceptable, he said there are plenty of traditional ways which plenty of people will give you. You can always resort to the traditional way.
Does he say that they agree that there are different ways of look at one over the other?
महाराज असं म्हणतात की जे जिथं पोचायचं आहे तिथं
कोणाला पण आहे कोण
जिथं पोचायचं
त्याला कुठं जायचं
You see, the question itself is misconceived. He says,
कल्पना दिली आहे लोकांनी ज्ञानी मनोरंजन कल्पना दिली खर्चली कंडिशन दिली आहे बाकी काय नाही दिले
what is only consciousness and nothing else. And that has come about spontaneously. So where does consciousness have to go anywhere? So who wants to go anywhere? Who wants the past? To go where? Therefore, the question itself was misconceived. I didn't want to tell you that.
Maharaj mentioned about those who want to spend next and go there. Different ways that
आपला पाण्याचा गुण आहे आणि त्याच्यातून मटेरियल तयार झालेले मटेरियल आपण कुठला गुण आहे वायू
That each of the senses is a reflection of each of the five elements. So, and manifestation happens of the five elements into five different things. Where is this true that everybody wants to go somewhere or come or become something? Where is this you? What is this you? All that happens is a process.
तो काय म्हणतात
amazingly clear when you are talking about the things of the Guru. When you are talking about Sadhguru, what does the feet of the Guru mean? From there on, it starts moving and start. To go back to exactly the form of the Guru.
मी आपण काल सांगितलं म्हणे सद्गुरूचे चरण म्हणजे काय तुम्ही बरोबर विचार नाही करत ते सद्गुरूचे चरण म्हणजे असं करता तुम्ही पण आपण सांगितलं की सद्गुरूचे चरण म्हणजे हालचाल
आपल्याला आलेले भान आपल्याला भोगायला आलेले ज्ञान त्या ज्ञानामध्ये सर्व काय अनंत उपाय आहे निश्चय केलं जाणली वेगळा जाणली
for communicating. He says Sadguru Charan. That is feet of the Sadguru. But feet represent movement. And movement represents presence. So, as he said, going back, this consciousness which has come, itself is the first movement in the original state. Where he said, I was not even conscious of myself. I wasn't even aware. Then in that awareness has come this consciousness, which is the first movement. So look here, this movement, which is the first appearance of that state of consciousness. नेहमीचा प्रश्न आहे विचार करतो म्हणतात की महाराज ज्ञानी आहेत पण तो आधीच सांगितलं ना काय की मी कुठे अपमान करायच्या दृष्टीने म्हणा पण जाणून घेण्याच्या हे सगळे फोटो वगैरे आहेत फोटो वगैरे लावते ते ज्ञानाच्या दृष्टीने म्हणतो जरा समजायला कठीण होतं
हो अज्ञानाला दूर करण्याकरता लावलेलं अज्ञान अज्ञानाला दूर करण्याकरता अज्ञान खाली लावलेलं आहे आता ते ज्ञान काढलं नाहीये
We have to understand that all these were placed at a time during the process when the full knowledge had not arrived, and they are there as a proof of the original ignorance.
अज्ञान काळाला
So it is one now this body has come, and then I still use the body.
अज्ञान खाली आलाय
It is an exhibition. It is an exhibition. It's a proof of at one time ignorance.
Why do we feel the need to exhibit in this formal record?
Why should you not? I mean, you ask why. I ask why not? Either way, there has to be volition. We said there is no volition. Something is there, it continues there. Why should anyone? For your benefit or my benefit? ते म्हणतात म्हणजे आता हे नंतर काढले का नाही ते म्हणजे का काढावे हा ते शेवटी ते म्हटलं आहे ते म्हणतात तुम्ही म्हणतात का काढले मी म्हणतो का काढावे
तुम्ही कोण तू काय जाणार लोक वाचवर बोलतोय तुला स्वतःला जाग आणि लोकांशिवाय काय जाणार तुझ्याकडे लग्नाचा उपयोग केल्याशिवाय तुझ्याकडे ज्ञान जाग आणि झोप आहे आणि जाग आणि झोप घेऊन चालू आहे काय जाणार
other than this consciousness
काय करताय
and the time concept of time. It is what is it that you think you are? Who is asking the question? For whose benefit?
कोण आहे जगात ज्ञानी जाग झोपल्याशिवाय
Other than this, the waking and sleeping state of the consciousness, is there anything or any entity? Who wants to know?
मिळून झाले शिकवल्याशिवाय बाकी सगळं शिकवलं
Maharaj repeat, that which is intuitive and spontaneous is this knowledge of waking state, sleeping state and being conscious. That is intuitive knowledge. That is basic knowledge. Other than that, anything that you have acquired is acquired knowledge. Knowledge here. And therefore he has already said that knowledge is accumulated on the basis of ignorance.
जगाचं पट्ट्या
Oh.
होय किती मग 50 एवढे त्याचं पोळ आहे त्याला ज्ञान पाहिजे ज्ञान बरोबर
Maharaj says, anyone who may come with a reputation of being the wisest man in the world. He says, when he comes and sits there, I know what he is. So what is he saying? So I asked him,
हे समज मंदिर बोलतो काय बरोबर त्या पोरासमोर हे बोलतो मला पंडिता जगा
he said, Lord,
माझा समोर माझे पोर जेवढं मला दिसतं पंडित नाही
he said, how, the only question I asked him is, how old are you? He said, 30, 40, 50. So he says, he sees him as a 50-year-old baby, or even further back, 50-year-old conception. That is all he is, as far as he is concerned. So anyway, whatever, all based on that, whatever he may require of worldly knowledge.
त्याला काय मानतो तो त्याला काय म्हणू देवाच्या बाजूला करून त्याला काय बोलतो
He said, other than this essence of the material, of which the song has been made, other than that, what can I call it? Is there anything which I can call? Or say, this is me?
That's okay. November 13, 1980 evening. How to obtain God was the question.
Have intense faith, he says. With that deep faith, whatever you are, that you are will be transformed into God. Whatever is not possible. मीच देव आहे कसं समजून घ्यायचं मीच देव आहे
समजून नाही घ्यायचं जेव्हा झालं न कळणार हो समजून काय तुझ्या काय बोलणार
इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टँड दॅट यू हॅव टू बी गॉड अँड देन टू रिअलाइज
हाऊ टू बी गॉड
देव कसं होणार देव कसं व्हायचं
त्यांचं ज्ञान आहे तो ज्ञान आहे
intense faith I am the manifest knowledge only. That is I am. From the body mind standpoint, you will always see the difference. You identify yourself with the body and with your mind. That's why all the difference. Finally, the body will be discarded, whatever that principle in you that is, you are or that God. That principle will discard the body.
What is different from God?
देह म्हणजे देवाहून देह निराळा का देवाहून देह निराळा
म्हणजे काय आहे पदार्थ ज्ञान आहे सत्व आहे मटेरियल आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सगळं तुम्ही बोलणार देखावा आहे सिनेमा याच्यामध्ये आतमध्ये आहे
body is the food. It is the food essence only. In this food essence lies that principle which contains everything. Like a cinema picture.
देवाच्या ठिकाणी वगैरे एकाग्र व्हायचं असलं तर काय
देवाच्या ठिकाणी एकाग्र व्हायचं असलं तर
एकाग्रता मिळत
आपण अजून ज्ञान भरून ठेवायचं ते दुसरं आपण नाही ते आपण ज्ञानाचे आपण एकूण झालं म्हणजे ते एकाग्रता होते
He is asking, how to become one, how to concentrate on God. So Maharaj says, be one with whatever you are. You are, you know the principle that you are. You know you are. Be one with that.
How to know we are You are the principle. What is that principle of I am? I'm not able to understand. That is the problem.
मी आहे हे मूळ तत्व आहे.
काय नाही तुम्ही ज्ञान नसेल जग आणि जगात काय आहे?
If you are not,
तुम्ही काय ज्ञान नाही तर जग आणि जगात काय आहे?
if whatever that principle you are, you know you are, you feel you are. If you are not, your world is not. Nothing exists for you if you are not.
तुमच्या ज्ञान शक्ती तुमच्याकडे आहे आपल्या अंदर मानलं ते उपास शक्ती आहे
That energy or that power that you are, which is in you, that is all powerful energy. It is avatar shakti called, the power of incarnation.
And then comes story.
ही उत्पत्ती कशाला आहे मग? उत्पत्ती कशाला आहे मग?
ते सांगेल तुम्हाला त्याचे तुम्हाला ओळखलं
That you are principle alone will tell you.
तुम्ही आपल्या ज्ञानाची ओळख होत ते तुम्हाला सांगेल दाखवले कशा करता.
When you get fully acquainted and when you become one with the knowledge you are, that knowledge you are alone will tell you.
माहिती खरी नाही त्यातून निर्माण होत माहिती खरी हे ज्ञान खरं आहे.
Whatever knowledge or information you collect from outside, it is not correct. But the knowledge which sprouts in you, in that you are, that alone is correct for you.
He exists, I am existing, he is existing, and she is existing. The tree is there, flower is there. They are real or unreal. They are also true, isn't it?
हे सर्व जे आहे, हा आहे, मी आहे, तो आहे, हे झाड आहे.
ज्ञान असेल सर्व ना.
Those are provided you are. All those are for you provided you are.
Are they not true?
ते सत्य नाही का? हे जे दिसतं हे सगळं
नाही. तुम्ही अजून ज्ञान असे पण सत्य आहे.
So long as you are,
असत्य आहे.
so long as you are, everything is real. If you are not, nothing is.
त्याची अजून ज्ञान आहे हे सोडू नको.
You are this material, whatever material you are, the main principle out of it is the knowledge you are, and that knowledge you are is all powerful.
How to get that concentration in the beginning?
त्यांना हे
How to get?
केंद्रित कसं करायला पाहिजे तर
ते केंद्रितच आहे.
इट इज ऑलरेडी
बाहेरची बाजू